Indiana Jones 5, The Dial of Destiny, is now played for some public audiences at the Cannes Film Festival, where a bunch of people have been able to see it. And what's the word on it? Well, here's the thing. We've been waiting for this movie for years. I think it might have been up to like 4 or 5 years ago that they announced that they were going to do Indiana Jones 5. I think initially Steven Spielberg was going to do it. He then stepped away from it. James Mangold, who I think is one of the best directors in the world right now, stepped in and was taking over for it. And it's understandable why they did another one. Harrison Ford is still Harrison Ford. Indiana Jones is indisputably one of the most iconic characters, figures in the history of cinema. And, on top of all that, the franchise has a track record of success. Take a look at this. So the original Raiders of the Lost Ark, all right, 93% critic rating, made $390 million. Now, you got, especially for the time that movie came out, that's pretty damn good. Temple of Doom followed that up, 76% critic rating, $330 million. Then they decided to do The Last Crusade, which is my personal favorite of the franchise, at $474 million and 84% critic rating. Now then, a number of years later, well, they had said that was it. George Lucas said after The Last Crusade they weren't going to make any more. Well, they did. And they did Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, where we all learned that you can survive a nuclear explosion by crawling into a fridge. It's I didn't know that. You learn something new every day. I love it when movies teach us something. That's fantastic. Now, despite the fact that the reputation of Kingdom of the Crystal Skull is totally garbage, the fact of the matter is it's still got a 77% critic rating and made the most money of any of the Indiana Jones films at $791 million. Well, now the new one's coming out. And we heard two separate and polar opposite kind of, what should I say here, claiming inside scoops about how good or bad the movie is. On the one hand, you had some rumors going around that, hey, studio insiders saying this is the Indiana Jones movie we've always wanted. All right.
That was Raiders for me, so I don't know what they're talking about.
And then there was people on the other side, though, Jonathan. People on the other side saying there were test screenings and people walked out. Okay, sure. That got debunked. Just so if anybody that's out there actually still believes that got completely debunked. Not true. But you have these two big extremes. It's the Indiana Jones movie we've been waiting for. Oh, people were walking out. Well, it looks like maybe neither of them were right. Because the movie is now played at Cannes, and it's getting, by the very definition of mixed reviews. A bunch of the top critics and top outlets were there to go see Dial of Destiny. They've now watched it, and it's the big sites, right? It's like IndieWire is there, Variety is there, The Hollywood Reporter is there, Vulture, like all these big outlets are there, and they are very, very mixed. Here's an example. We got the New York Magazine and the writer from Vulture saying, the damn thing is fun. Mangold may not have the young Spielberg's magical flair for extravagant action choreography, but who does? But he is a tougher, leaner director, using a tighter frame and keeping his camera close. Great. Okay, that sounds awesome. Thank you, New York Magazine. Well, yeah, but then the Daily Beast said the de-aging and other CGI manipulations for Ford's body only serve to demonstrate that Dial of Destiny just wants to turn back the clock instead of doing anything new. Well, that's fine. Well, then we got Awards Watch saying Harrison Ford finds a fitting end to one of cinema's greatest action heroes and one of the most iconic roles of his career. With this film, Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny is a thrilling, action-packed swan song for the iconic character. Okay, great. Well, then the playlist writes, it's a sad and safe ending for a series that once prided itself on big escapades and larger-than-life emotions. Dial of Destiny shows that some relics should just stay buried. All right? Well, then Slash Film, one of my favorite sites out there, Slash Film, write, Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny is a bold, bright, and blazingly fun reunion with our favorite hero. Okay. But then the Hollywood Reporter says, this is a big, bombastic movie that goes through the motions but never finds much joy in the process, despite John Williams' hard-working score continuously pushing the nostalgia buttons and trying to convince us that we're on a wild ride. And it goes on and on. This is kind of the reactions we're seeing coming out. As of this moment that I'm recording this, as I look in front of me, Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny is holding a 47%. So pretty much right down the line. The critics are completely split on this. Now, I have not seen this movie yet. And I put in our newsletter this morning. By the way, if you're not subscribed to the John Campea Show newsletter, go subscribe to it today. But I wrote in my newsletter today, here's the thing. We were all, including me, I've been excited about this movie. I've been looking forward to this movie. I've had pretty high expectations for this movie. And I haven't seen the movie yet myself, so I don't know if I'm going to like it or not. I may not. It looks like it's going to be a coin toss because the critics seem to be split on this. But what does seem to be clear now, coming out of the Cannes Film Festival, is that Indiana Jones isn't going to be the movie that all the world together comes together to embrace and love. It's not going to be the sweet romantic send-off for Indiana Jones that the whole world gets behind, like a lot of us were kind of hoping they would do, especially coming off of Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. And it got me wondering today, I really understood at the time why they did Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. I wanted them to do another Indiana Jones movie. Last Crusade had been my favorite. I know George Lucas has said he'd never do another one again, but still, we wanted it. So fine, many years later, they came back and did another one, and it hasn't aged well. I mean, a lot of people don't. I've always contended that Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull is actually a pretty good Hollywood adventure film, but it wasn't a very good Indiana Jones film. If you know what I mean by saying that. A lot of us were asking for Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, but even though there were some people like me very excited to see this movie, and again, I don't know if I'm going to like it or not, neither I know or do I know a lot of people who were asking for another Indiana Jones movie. And it makes me think today in hindsight, and hindsight is always 2020. You're thinking back, well, okay, I got Crystal Skull wanting to take one more shot at it. Well, and you did, and despite the money and all that kind of stuff, it didn't really work out. So why take another one again? Look, for all I know, I'm going to watch Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny and think it was the greatest movie of the year. Maybe I will. Maybe I'll watch it and think, man, this is the worst movie I've seen this year. I don't know. But it's becoming pretty clear we're probably not going to get one big general consensus on it. And that's kind of too bad. I'll still look forward to watching it and see how I feel about it. Guys, we want to take a second to thank a sponsor of this video, ExpressVPN. Guys, it is 2023, and online privacy and security has never been more important. You see, every device, phones, computers, tablets, has a unique IP address, which is like an internet phone number and reveals personal information about you. It's super simple for somebody online who knows what they're doing to find your IP address. If you've ever clicked on a sketchy link or opened an email from somebody you don't know, your IP address could become exposed. Now that's where ExpressVPN has your back. ExpressVPN is an app that hides your real IP address and replaces it with a dummy one, keeping you safe and private. And you don't have to be some kind of techie to use a VPN. Guys, it is so easy to use. Just download the ExpressVPN app on your phone or computer, tap one button to turn it on, and you're protected. And if you like your streaming entertainment, here's the coolest part. They let you choose what country you want your IP address to look like it's coming from. This is incredibly useful because services like Netflix and Disney Plus give you different shows depending on what country you're in. So secure your family's online activity and unlock tons of new shows by visiting expressvpn.com/Campea. Use my link and you can get 3 extra months free. That's expressvpn.com/Campea. Go to expressvpn.com/Campea to learn more. Question is for you guys. What do you think about this? I mean, we are now getting the first kind of rolling out of the reviews or coming out of cons. They're pretty much split down the middle at 47% right now. For every good review, there's a bad one. And I don't know, what does this do for your anticipation for Indiana Jones? I got to admit, it is affecting mine a little bit because a couple of those negative reviews are by people that I find I kind of identify with a little bit. I don't know. Whatever you guys feel about this, jump on down to the comment section below and let us know your thoughts. Hey guys, thanks for checking out our video. Make sure you like and subscribe to our channel here. And also, if you want to hear our full daily show, go and subscribe to our podcast, the John Campea Show podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or your favorite podcasting app of choice.